Rahim. So yeah, we were done this ibarat yesterday. See, this just want to go a little bit back. This we were discussing. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa nusalli ala Rasulihil Kareem. وقال محمد يسجدون إذا فرغوا لأن السبب قد تقرر ولا مانع بخلاف حالة الصلاة لأنه إلى خلاف وضع الإمامة أو التلاوة ولهما أن المقتدي محجور. So the Messiah was, let's just go back. وإذا تلا الإمام آية السجدة سجدها. Right? I'll just read to quick. We done most of it, but the last part I want to expand on that part, right? وإذا تلا الإمام آية السجدة سجدها. If the Imam recited a sajda ayat in the salah, right? Then sajadaha, the Imam will make a sajda, wa sajadaha al-ma'mumu ma'ahu liltizamihi mutaba'atan. Then the muqtadi, he will also follow because he is taken upon himself to follow the Imam, right? But wa idha tala al-ma'mumu, but if the muqtadi in salat, he read loud, not supposed to be reading, especially in the Hanafi madhab, but he went and he read loud, right? Right? Lam yajul al-imamu. The imam don't have to make sajda. Wala al-ma'mumu, and neither the muqtadi fi salati, in the salah, wala ba'da al-farahi, and even after the salah, they don't have to make. Why? In the Abi Hanifa, according to Imam Hanifa, wa Abi Yusuf, rahimahullah, in the Quran. So that was, no sajda becomes wajib at all. وقال محمد رحمه الله يسجدونها إذا فرغوا. According to Imam Muhammad, when they finish their salah, then the imam and the muqtadi both have to do sajda, right? Why? لأن السبب قد تقرر. The reason, the thing that makes sajda sahu wajib has been found. It has been found, even though in salah they were not able to do it in salah. So now the mani', the thing that stopped them from doing it, is found after salah, so they must do it. So ولا مانع, and there's no mani'. بخلاف حال الصلاة, and obviously in salah they won't read it. Why they won't read it in salah? لأنه إلى خلف وضع الإمامة, because this will result in a simple words, you can say it will result in a reversal of roles. It will result in, how will it result in a reversal of roles? They're saying it result in a reversal of roles. لأنه إلى خلاف وضع الإمامة. You see, the Imam, he's been there not to follow the Muqtadi. Why is the Imam there? The Imam is there so that the Muqtadi must follow him, isn't it? So now, if you say in Salah, the Imam must make sajda because the Muqtadi recited sajda ayat. What are you doing? What are you doing? You saying that the Imam must follow the Muqtadi. So you say is a reversal of roles. Ila khilafi wada' al-imamati. It is contrary to the placing of the Imam. The Imam, إنما جعل, there's a hadith, إنما جعل الإمام ليتم به. The Imam is made as an Imam there so that he must be followed. So that he must be followed. And now you making the Muqtadi, you making the Imam follow the Muqtadi. So that's contrary to the role of Imam. You understood that? إلى خلاف وضع الإمامة أو التلاوة. And this is also contrary to the law of tilawat. Wow, what do you mean here? This is contrary to the law of tilawat. What they say in that day is this here, that see that the Imam is supposed to be doing the tilawat, right? And now who's doing the tilawat? The Muqtadi is doing tilawat, so that's not correct, right? So that's what we're saying. So according to Muhammad, after they finish, they can make the, what you call it, they'll make the sajda. But Imam Shaykhain say, even afterwards they won't do it. Even afterwards. Why? وَلَهُمَا, they say, أَنَّ الْمُقْتَدِيَ مَحْجُورٌ عَنِ الْقِرَاءَةِ. See, the Muqtadi he is prevented from making qiraat. I told you, man kana lahu imamun fa qiraatul imami qiraatun lahu, right? He has been prevented from making any qiraat, right? So he's mahjur. Mahjur means he's been stopped. Like how we say, he's got a gagging order. You know, gagging order means you're not allowed to speak anything. So you're not allowed to recite anything behind the imam. You're not allowed to recite anything to the imam. So even if you recite as though you never recite, even though you recite as though you never recite. So see there, وَلَوْ أَنَّ الْمُقْتَدِيَ مَحْجُورٌ عَنِ الْقِرَاءَةِ. The muqtadi has been stopped from speaking. Why? لِنَفَاذِ التَّصَرُّفِ الْإِمَامِ عَلَيْهِ. Because of the validity of the actions of the imam upon him. That salat is as such that the actions of the imam will be valid for the muqtadi, not the actions of the muqtadi on the imam. That's why we told you, even if the muqtadi made a mistake, that does not require a sajda sahu for the imam. His actions is of no consequences, and his actions are of no relevance upon the imam. So that's what I say there. Linafazi means, I told you, because of the enacting or the implementation, tasarruf al-imami of the actions of the imam upon him, right? Then it's saying, وَتَصَرُّفُ الْمَحْجُومِ لَا حُكْمَ لَهُ. The actions, the doings of that person who is mahjur, he has been gagged in Shariat. He's been said he can't speak, he can't read. لَا حُكْمَ لَهُ. There's no law for it. It's of no relevance. It is of no relevance. I gave you the example yesterday. If a woman walks in, I say she's talaqed, a million talaqs is of no relevance. Because with regards to that woman, she's not my wife, I'm mahjur, right? Right. So now, they saying contrary بخلاف الجنوب والحائض. This is contrary to the masla of a junub and a haid. Junubi means a person, a male or even a female, a male or female, that ghusl has become wajib upon them, not because of haid, because of ceremonial impurity, husband and wife relationships, or inzal, or whatever, right? They are not mahjur. They are mamnu'. Mamnu' means you have been prevented from doing it, but if you do it, it still takes place. That's what I'm saying. Mahjur means even if you do it, it doesn't take place at all. Another nice way to understand this here. Here, I told you, if there's a woman walking there, I say, this woman, I'm talaqing, she's not my wife, right? So that talaq is of no relevance because I'm mahjur, I can't give a talaq to a person. But look at this. A woman, my wife is in a hayd. So I'm mamnu, I'm prevented, I'm stopped from talaqing her. But if I give it the talaq is valid. That even though a lot of people think, a lot of people must understand this. They say because it's not permissible to talaq a woman when she's hayd, if the husband did talaq her, it's not valid. No, it's prohibited. It's not good to do it. There's karahat, there's sin, but it doesn't mean it's not valid. So same thing what he's saying here. That one is you are a muqtadi, so you are mahjur. You have your words, your recitation is of no consequences. It's like it never happened at all. Like how I told a strange woman, I'm giving you 120 lakhs, nothing. But if my wife, she's in a hayd and I give her talaq, that talaq, while I'm prohibited, I'm mamnu', is prohibited from talaqing a woman in hayd, but it is valid. But it is valid, you understood? So they're saying, so they say a junubi, whether it's a male or female, wal haidi, they are mamnu', they are not mahjur. So if a junubi and a haida, they are mamnu', they are mahjur, right? So they're saying, لأنهما منهيان عن القراءة, because them two manhiyani, this is a tasniya, manhiyun, naha yanha, fawanahin, manhiyun manhiyani, they have been prohibited anil qiraati, from reciting, right? So that if they have been prohibited, that means if they recite, their recitation is valid. So that means if a junubi, male or female, hear the Quran and they recite the Quran, sajasa will become wajib because they're not mahjur, they manhi. If a haida to recite the Quran, or she had to hear somebody else recite the Quran, it's supposed to become binding upon her or the person who hears from her. It's supposed to be, because they are manhi, they're not mahjur, right? But إلا أنه لا يجب على الحائض. So technically speaking, the haida, if she recited the Quran and she recited a sajda verse, or she heard somebody else reciting, then technically speaking, she is supposed to make the sajda or to become by. But there's another thing here, right? So لأنه لا يجب على حائض بتلاوتها كما لا يجب بسماعها. But we say no, it's supposed to be like that, but it won't be like that. If she recited the Quran, sajda tilawat won't become wajib upon her. Or if somebody else heard recited, it won't become wajib upon her. Why? لا يجب بسماعها. Why? لإنعدام أهلية الصلاة. Because at this point in time, she doesn't have the capacity to read Salah. Remember, we told you that the conditions of Salah, that you must be park, you must be clean, etc., etc. She is in the halat al-hayd. Unlike a Junubi can make ghusl and he can remove that impurity from him. A haida, even if she bathed 20 times, 100 times, she cannot remove that impurity from her. She have to wait for her time to finish. So she is غير أهل. She is غير أهل. So even so, because she is غير أهل of salat, even if she recited that verse, or even she heard somebody else reciting the verse, still then it will not become wajib upon her and not upon else. بخلاف الجنوبي, but contrary to a person's halat al-janabat, a male or female that maybe had inzal, or maybe they had husband and wife relationships, then upon them, what will happen? It will be wajib. So from there, three things now. We said three things. I'll just summarize. The person who was reading in salah, he was a muqtadi. There, according to Imam Muhammad, once they finish, you'll have to do the sajda. According to Imam Hanifa and Imam Yusuf, even after salah, you won't have to do sajda, not the Imam Bukhari, because this person was mahjur. Mahjur means he got a gagging order. So whatever he says is of no relevance. So as though he never said that, right? That was what you call mahjur. Then if you look at the junubi and the haida, they are not mahjur, they are mamnu'. They are prevented from doing something. And when you are prevented from doing something, that even if you do it, it will be valid. And I gave you the example. For example, I have been prevented as a man, you have been prevented from giving a woman in the highest talaq. So, but if you done it, it takes place. So same thing here. We're saying that you, as a Junubi, you have been prevented from reading the Quran, but if you do, it's still valid. So if you recite the ayat, it will become wajib upon you to read that sajda as a Junubi, male or female, as the person who heard you. But the haida, she is mamnu', she's not mahjur. But this mamnu' is of such a category that she's not ahl for salat. I tell you, ahl for salat, they must be taharat from najasat kubra and najasat hukmiya and najasat haqiqiyya. There's no way she can obtain tahara from najasat hukmiya, even if she bathed 1,000,000 times. She has to wait for her cycle, her flow to stop. So on that account, she's ghayr ahl. So if she recites, or if she recites the sajda ayat, it will not become wajib upon her. Or if she hears somebody else something recite, it will not become wajib upon her, etc. All right. Okay, read the next ibarat, inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولو سمع رجل خارج الصلاة سجدها هو الصحيح لأن الأجر ثبت في حقه يعدو.
Right, interesting masala. ولو سمعها رجل خارج الصلاة سجدها والصحيح لأن الحجر ثبت في حق فلا يعدوهم. This is a masala here. For example, two people are reading salah, right? Or maybe even one person, you're reading salah, you're making door and you recite the ayat. And I am not with you in Jamaat. I am not with you in Jamaat. I am not with you in Jamaat. I haven't joined you in Jamaat, right? But I heard you. I heard you in your salah. Or maybe even like this, a woman by the house, husband is reading tahajjud namaz, whatever, hafiz al-Quran, and he recited a sajda, and you heard it. Then it becomes necessary for you to recite the sajda as well. Unlike in the previous masah, that is where you were part of the previous masah is where the muqtadi recited in the salah, right? Not the imam. So, وَلَوْ سَمِعَهَا رَجُلٌ خَارِجَ الصَّلَاةِ سَجَدَهَا هُوَ الصَّحِيحُ. You as a person خارج salat, you will make the sajda. لأن الحجر ثبت في حق فلا يأدوم. Because that hajar is being referred to the person that was in the salat is not supposed to recite it. Yeah, you're out of salat, So you're not mamnu', if you hear it, it becomes wajib upon you. That's what I'm saying. So لأن حديث ثبت في حقهم refer to those people that were in the salat, right? فلا يأدم, so it will not go to them. It will not affect them, right?
وإن سمعوا وهو في الصلاة سجدة رجل ليس معه في الصلاة لم يسجدوها في الصلاة إنها ليست بصلاتية.
Right, another interesting masaya. وإن سمعوا وهم في الصلاة سجدة من رجل ليس معهم في الصلاة. Another interesting masala. Opposite of what we discussed. The one we discussed is I was sitting here and that person was reading there and recited the sajda. But it's the opposite now, right? ولو سمعوا I was sitting and reading Quran here. I was sitting here and I was reading Quran, right? And they were reading Salah there. And I recited a sajda verse and they heard me reciting the sajda verse. Are you with me? There's it. وإن سمعوا يعني سمعوا المصلون الإمام والمقتدي وهم في الصلاة, they will salat سجدة, right? من رجل, from a person ليس معهم, is not with him in the salah, right? So they're saying لم يسجدوها في الصلاة. Whilst they reading the salat, whilst they reading the Jamaat salat, they don't have to make, or rather they can't make the sajda in the salat, right? لأنها ليست بصلاة, because this sajda is not a salati sajda. The sajda hasn't been recited in salat. It has been recited out of salat, right? So it's not a salati sajda, right? Why not a salati sajda? لأن سماعهم هذه السجدة ليس من أفعال الصلاة. When I recited, me as a person out of salat, when I recited this sajda, I was not in salat. So the answer is not a salati sajda, right? It is not from amongst the actions of salat. وَسَجَدُوهَا بَعْدَ لِتَحَقُّقِ سَبِبِهَا. But if they heard me clearly reciting a sajda, once they finish their salah, both the imam and the muqtadi, they have to recite the sajda verse because they heard it, and obviously the sabab was there, and obviously me as an individual, I was not mahjur, I was not in the salah to say, like how the muqtadi that recited the loud one. I was a free person. I recited, I had no gagging order, nothing. So the sabab was found in its fullest manner, and they heard it. Well, they're not supposed to hear it if they were concentrating on the salah, but anyway, they heard it, so they'll have to do the sajda after that. ولو سجدوا في الصلاة لم يجزهم. If they heard now me recite Masla, me reciting a sajda ayat here, and they decided, both of them, the Imam decided going to sajda, and the Muqtadi also followed him to sajda, and they made their sajda, it will not be good enough. It will not affect the salah, but the sajda will not be done. Why? لأنه ناقص لمكان النهي فلا يتعدى به الكامل. Interesting reasoning. The reasoning is that here, that since this is not a salati sajda, it's not a salati sajda, it's not supposed to be done in salat. So they have been prohibited from doing it in salah. So something which is prohibited and you do it, it is deficient. It is deficient. So that salah, that sajda which they have been prohibited from, they done it in the salah in a deficient manner. And it became faraz upon them in a complete manner. It became faraz upon them in a complete manner. So they will have to now saying make the sajda again, because I explained earlier, this became faraz in a complete manner to you, and you discharge it It's off. It's on again. Okay, I think we're back. Right, so right. So قال وأعادوها, so they will have to repeat the sajda لتقرر سببها, because the sabab was found, because لتقرر, because of the establishment of sabab. ولم يعيدوا الصلاة, but they don't have to repeat the salah again. I told you that لأن مجرد السجدة لا ينافي إحرام الصلاة, because the sajda, although it was a misplaced sajda, it's not supposed to be there, but the mere sajda لا ينافي إحرام الصلاة, it will not negate or break the ihram of the salat. You know, you made tahrima in front, right? وفي النوادر, I told you nawadir refer to those books which also carries the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa, but it is not in the six main books. Those books in the main books, remember, like it's called the Haruniyat, the Kaysina. The default ruling is what is in the usul, or right, fatwa will be given on that. Yes, sometimes fatwa is given on the nawadir, but this extenuation, there's a need to move away from the normal fatwa. The ulama have given fatwa on the nawadir, but generally the fatwa is on the zawaid. So وفي النوادر أنها تفسد, but in that if the imam made the sajda, then he'll have to read the salah. You will have to repeat the salah. Why? Why they say لأنهم زادوا فيها ما ليس منها, and because they increase, the imam increase in salah. That is what, not what's part of the. In other words, that sajda was an extra sajda. That sajda was an extra sajda. It's not part of the salah. So you increase in the salah something was not there. وَقِيلَ هُوَ قَوْلُ مُحَمَّدٍ, and he said that this, that you have to repeat the whole salah, this is the opinion of Imam Muhammad. But obviously the fatwa is not upon that. Right. Okay, read more. One more text. 1-2 minutes extra.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن قرأ رجل ليس معه في الصلاة دخل معه ما سجدها الإمام لم يكن عليه أن يسجدها لأنه صار مدركا.
Okay, interesting masla, very relevant masla. Say you, even a wife is by the house, for example, and your husband is performing, maybe he missed his jamaat in the masjid, so yeah, he's reading. So he recited Aistajda'i, but she was late, she was still getting ready. So while she was still getting ready, she was putting a burqa on, she was putting rolling down her sleeves, etc. The husband recited Aistajda'i. He recited Aistajda'i. So she heard the Sajda, and then she joined him in Salah after he recited the Sajda ayat, but he did not make Sajda as yet. فإن قرأها الإمام, the Imam recites Sajda, وسمعها رجل, yes, a man, woman, it doesn't matter. وسمع رجل ليس معه في الصلاة. So somebody heard the Sajda ayat, was not with him in Salah, right? فدخل معه. So after he فدخل معه, sorry, فدخل معه بعد ما سجد الإمام. So then I explained a little bit wrong, but this is, so the Imam recited the sajda and he went into sajda and he came up already afterwards, right? So فدخل معه بعد ما سجد الإمام لم يكن عليه أشهدها. You don't, as the mudrik, the person who came late, you don't have to repeat it. Why you don't have to repeat it? Because remember, when you join the Imam, whatever the Imam does is also he may sajda as though he made it on your behalf. Yes, still until you get the ruku. But if you miss the ruku, then it is too late. Then you say now his ruku, his qiyam, or if you miss the ruku, his ruku does not suffice for you. But we say, although technically you did not make the sajda, but the sajda of the imam will be, because remember, man kana lahu imamun fa qira'atul imami qira'atun lahu. So that is suffice for the qira'at of the book, same to for the mudrik, same to the sajda also suffice. You understood? Because the sajda is a result of the qiraat. So لأنه صار مدركا, we say as though he got the sajda بإدراك ركعته when he got the imam, if he got the imam before ruku. Yes, if he got the imam after ruku, we say he missed the whole rakat, and then it will be a different masla. The time is up. We stop. We will continue tomorrow, inshallah.